Hello, I'm back, and when we last left off, we made multiple levels and ways to get through multiple rooms. Now we're going to be working on putting stuff in those levels, and what I mean by that is we're going to make a spawner that will spawn the enemies for us. So we're going to go ahead and start that right now. We're going to go to Create Sprite and Create Object for three different things. We're going to create a sprite and object for the sprite, for the UFO sprite, and for the spawner that spawns the UFO and the enemy. So I'm just going to walk you guys through that real quick. So here, this is my sprite. It'll be my sprite spawn UFO. So we're going to go ahead and get this out of the way. We're going to have to create a sprite for each one of these. Now, when we get to making our object UFO, we're going to make it just like our object enemy, where we add a create event, and we just have it move left at about 8 pixels. So we'll press OK, and we'll go ahead and make the object spawn enemy. So we'll call this object spawn enemy. Now, there's two ways you can spawn an enemy, and I'm going to show you both of them. The first method is to make a step event. Now, all a step event does is that each frame, it's going to be doing the action. And so, since there's 30 frames in a second, each frame, so basically 30 times each second, it's going to be doing that action. And it's really good if you want something to stay in place no matter what, or if you want like something to spawn if there's one object in a room. It's pretty good for being always active. But enough of that. We're gonna drag this little dice, this green dice, in the control tab. It says test chance. So you'll see this little window pop up. It says sides. Sides just means the chance that the dice roll will happen. So let's make the chance 90. That means there's a 1 in 90 chance each frame that these actions will trigger. We'll do a create instance. We'll call it, we have to make sure you select your object enemy, put relative, press OK. And let's check that out in the room. Let's place it right there, and right there. We'll play it. And as you see, stuff is spawning behind the spawners. You'll see some sprites overlap, and it's really random. There isn't really a pattern, and that's the idea behind this method. It's just completely random. Now the second method I'll show you with sprite spawn UFO. So we'll go to create object, and we'll call this object object spawn UFO. Now this one is going to be using an alarm, and as I told you earlier, an alarm is just a countdown. So we'll go to create, go to main 2 where it says timing, set alarm. We'll set alarm 0 to 120 steps. which is basically 4 seconds. We'll press OK. Add event alarm 0. And this one is going to create our object UFO. Make sure to check relative so that the object UFO will appear in front of the spawn point. And what else we're going to do is we're going to add another alarm. We're going to set alarm 0 to 120 again. That means that each time alarm 0 triggers, it's going to set itself to 4 seconds again. So it'll keep repeating. This is incredibly useful if you want a sprite to switch between different actions or keep repeating something. Oh, almost forgot to select our sprite. We'll press OK. And we'll place those in the room. So you'll see these side by side in a direct comparison. As you see, the enemies are really random, but the ships, they're coming out at the same time. The UFOs, they're really predictable. They're coming out at the same time. And these are two different methods to making an enemy spawn from a set point.